How easy is it, do you think, to leave the UK and move abroad or whatever country that you're living in? This is something that I think about quite a lot. David is religious about watching the programme Sun, Sea and Selling Houses. He records it and we watch it. We're even watching some of the old reruns, but every time it comes on, you get that question, what if? It all looks absolutely amazing. They've got the sun, the blue sea, the scenery, they've got the outdoor lifestyle, and it all just looks amazing. But how easy really is it to leave everything behind that is just so familiar? Your home, your job, your family, your friends, just like I say, everything that is just familiar to you, to then move abroad, and you've got to kind of start again. You've got to integrate yourself into that lifestyle and that culture. You've got to make new friends. Then it's just the practical side of things, finding a doctor, a dentist, a broadband, an internet connector, tradesman, driving on the different side of the road, taxing your car, insuring your car. How easy is it really? It's just something that keeps popping into my head every time I see this programme. But a few years ago, we was on holiday in Mallorca, and we was in this little bar, and this bar was round the back of the hotel, so it's kind of like out of the way, one of them where it's mainly for the locals. And while we was in there this one particular night, this British woman came in and we got talking to her. And she was actually living and working there. I'm not quite sure how long she'd been there, a few years I think. But her and her husband had gone out there to set up a bar. And within quite a short period of time, her husband had taken ill. And he wasn't able to work anymore. And the bar was too much for her to cope with on her own. So they'd had to let the bar go. So she was working just normal, regular jobs. And the year before that we'd met her, she'd been working for this family who'd owned a restaurant. And it's their responsibility, the employers, to pay so much money to the government so that when it's the sort of non-season, the employers can then obviously draw the benefit. So it had got to the end of the year, the season. She'd drawn her first month's benefits and then it stopped. And when she queried it, she got told that that's all the contributions her employer had paid in. Now, this employer, this family, had actually gone on an extended holiday because it was down season. So her and her husband had to survive. It was something like 5 months with just what they'd got in the bank. And the year that we actually met her, she was actually working 7 days a week for another restaurant, and she was working split shift. She was doing one late morning, early afternoon, going home, and then going back in the evening until the restaurant finished, till it closed. And she was absolutely desperate to get back to the UK. But is it not better to have tried something, even if you fail at it, than to just wonder and have these thoughts in your head of, what if it did work out? Because for everyone that it doesn't, how many does work? But I just want, I keep wondering, how easy is it to leave? I'm even thinking guilty when I think of this, of leaving my kids behind and my grandkids, and I'm not even going anywhere, but it just keeps playing on my mind. So I just thought I'd ask, what does everyone else think? How easy would it be to leave everything behind and just start anew somewhere else? But my reality for today, as always, it's a Wednesday morning, so it's a work day. I'm just about to go and start an 8-hour shift, and I thought I'd just have a little talk to the camera before I went in. Sometimes I just wish that I could flick a switch in my brain and just let it go quiet for a few hours and give myself a bit of a rest. But for now, I'll see you later. Bye. One thing I forgot to mention with the Sun, Sea and Selling Houses programme, if you watch it, Every now and again, they go back and they revisit the people who have previously bought houses, and it might be 2, 3, 4 years down the line, and they all say how amazing it is, how they wouldn't go back, and they just look really goddamn happy. They've all got big smiles on their faces, and you can see they do look very relaxed. Yeah, so again, would it be easy to actually up sticks and leave the UK? I'm going to be thinking about this now all day, and it doesn't help because yesterday the day was another nice day, and it looks like today we might be having a decent day, although it's really cold. Let me know your thoughts. Bye.